injured here. 1v1 Greentooth Gorge, blue side. GuruSkippy as a big stompy Hive Tyrant. Bashes through cover as you see there. Cannot be suppressed either. Grants a basic synapse. And Chocobambus as a Warboss, capping eventually. Big stompy melee commander. Very good at disruption. Bashes through cover and has a buffs for his boys. 3 victory points up for grabs, east to west on this map. East is natural for GuruSkippy, a central and a natural for Chocobambus on the west. Chocobambus, a very good Eldar player, especially Warp Spider Exarch. Never seen them play Orks. GuruSkippy, pretty strong player too, has double termagants, light ranged infantry, and Chocobambus has double shooters, light ranged infantry also. I expect all Thor squads to be upgraded with toxin sacks and big shooters respectively. Hormagaunt Brood is going to run into double shooters here, I think. And are going to be forced off. Chocobambus wanting to keep his shooters together so they don't get isolated by Hormagaunts. GuruSkippy on the other hand spreading out his termagants a little bit. Going to get charged by sluggers, are they? Yes. Sluggers have used their war. Sluggers as a melee unit have a natural charge, as you can see they're chasing his termagants. Can they get a model loss? They do get 2 model losses in fact. And retreat with none unless the Hive Tyrant does a special attack. And they lose 1. Decent engagement with Chocobambus, kept these termagants from capping the west side and took out 2 models. Warboss now capping the east VP. Shooters coming centre, are they? Was a 2-to-1 briefly for GuruSkippy. Now going to be a 2-to-1 for Chocobambus. I expect extended carapace on the Hive Tyrant. Would also like to see Rendon Talons, but most players wait and get crushing claws. Warboss moving in to melee the Hive Tyrant. Hive Tyrant wins that fight because he's so much tougher. 1080 HP at the start, the toughest commander to start off with. Warboss, of course, has the disruption ability early on though. Hive Tyrant getting shot up quite a lot here, might go down. Those shooters should turn and engage. He'll get away now, they didn't turn fast enough. 9 hit points but gets away. Shooters lost 2 models. This squad gets into the building. Both have their big shooters. Do we see toxin sacks? We do on both models, and Warrior Brood hitting the field. Will we see a Barb Strangler to shut down these shooters? Two-to-1 cap for GuruSkippy. Sluggers trying to cap this wreck point. GuruSkippy losing map control here with his Hive Tyrant forced off. Taking back his natural power. Sluggers don't want to lose a model, so retreat. Storm Boys on the way for Chocobambus. That's a very, very bad news for these warriors. And here they are. Warrior Brood start off as a melee unit. Heavy infantry. Emit a basic synapse like the Hive Tyrant does. Granting damage reduction to nearby non-synapse Tyranids. And they have a kind of melee leap, so they're good at disrupting units. We do see it here. Knock the Warboss off of his cap in fact, but he stomps. And there's a special attack, and here come the Storm Boys with their power weapons. Will be devastating to those warriors, and GuruSkippy just retreats them. A bit haphazard when chasing retreated units. Storm Boys, they kind of jump after them but then don't attack, as you see there. Are they going to go and chop the Hive Tyrant now? They are. Won't do much to them with his default claws. He is getting his extended carapace, allowing him to charge, making him great disruption. The charge actually does damage as well in melee with Hormagaunt Brood, who are getting torn to shreds. Storm Boys are very nice, slightly underrated, especially by the new players unit. Very nice damage. They aren't the toughest thing around, but with those power weapons they can rip stuff up. and close the distance, of course, very quickly with that leap. Warrior Brood are back in there, suppressed by aiming what's that, and shooters are in retreat. GuruSkippy can now hit this power. 442 plays 460, a 1-to-1 cap. Hormagaunts coming out to cap the center. They have a reinforcement queued up. Sluggers on capping duty, which is usually what they're assigned to. Most Orc tier 1 combat is focused on shooters. Storm Boys, if you can use your choppers on them, they are going to be nasty for those Warrior Brood, especially since they're down to about 2/3 of their health. You see War going off, an ability that most Orc units have. The more units that use it, the greater the effect, boost speed and damage. Here come the Warrior Brood, and they think again. Hive Tyrant doing a decent job holding up them units, and retreats wasn't aggressive enough with his termagants there, I think. 442 plays 442. Very even tier 1 then. Map control, swinging back and forth. Slightly in Chocobambus's favour now, and I think in tier 1 on the whole slightly in his favour. See the Storm Boys again can't really attack as they chase, they use a jump instead. Still can't get a hit off. Pretty lucky to not lose a Warrior Brood member there. And Storm Boys retreat with no losses. Sluggers now have burners, giving them a couple of power weapons and lets them burn down generators and stuff. Can't finish the cap. Double termagants scare them off. Can't really do anything to double termagants since they just cripple them. Shooters capping mid, another squad idle, down 1 member. And Chocobambus goes tier 2 first. GuruSkippy will be able to go in about 10 seconds or so. $429, $416, a double for Chocobambus. Center is uncapped. Here comes the Hive Tyrant and warriors who have a Barbed Strangler. That might be dangerous. It's very nice against those shooters. Good AoE damage and instant suppression, but if those Storm Boys jump in, they're going to be even more defenseless against them. I'm not sure if the other 2 Warrior Brood members that don't get the Barbed Strangler retain their melee damage. Not sure about that, maybe one of you knows. Here comes Storm Boys, what are they doing? Using a jump to decap this fully matured wreck point. GuruSkippy goes tier 2 now. What will Chocobambus go for? Don't think we'll see a Death Tread or anything, since Venom Brood are so easy to get out and pretty effective anti-vehicle. He's gone for a war truck to support his boys. Hive Tyrant getting shot up. He does have his Rending Talons. Have a Knob Leader on his Shooter Boy squad, making him a bit more durable and adding to the DPS. Termagants running away. Warboss has his boss pole. Storm Boys being very cheeky, jumping the Barbed Stranglers. They don't disrupt when they land. We see Ard Boys going down. That's a global ability buff of the Warboss, giving them a damage reduction. Now they turn on the Hormagaunts and they have used choppers, but there's Rending Talons, Seismic Roar, knockback and damage over time, and the Storm Boys forced off. Very good play by GuruSkippy, negating Ard Boys and use your choppers. War truck on the field, transport and reinforcement point for Orks. Very cheap, but it's very fragile because of that. Ravener Brood on the way for GuruSkippy. A few changes in 3.18, can no longer get their Devourers in tier 1, but he's tier 2, so that doesn't matter. Hive Tyrant is forced to retreat, doesn't have the energy to charge and then use Seismic Roar, needs to level up once or twice to be able to do that. Weird Boy on the way for Chocobambus, going to be a great choice. And we have Venom Brood on the way for GuruSkippy, since he's seen this War Truck now. Venom Brood of course need to pay for their ranged Synapse now. Ravener Brood on the field are getting their Devourer, giving them a ranged weapon. So they keep their melee effectiveness, but we do see ranged Synapse being purchased, boosting the damage and health of ranged Tyranid units such as these Raveners, since they have the Devourers. War Truck making itself scarce. Weird Boy on the field, sub-commander for Orks, good damage and disruption with its spells. Also has a very nice artillery attack, which I'm sure we'll see because GuruSkippy is heading mid. Hive Tyrant trying to cap, going to be pressured by the War Truck, doesn't want to get too close to him, just idly driving past. Now going to get shot to pieces by a Venom Brood. Don't show your rear armor, boy. Out get Sluggers, fully upgraded with their Nob Leader, and they use Swampum, and the War Truck doesn't last very long at all. Sloppy by Chocobamba, should have moved it out. Sluggers ripping Termagants to shreds, are forced off though by Barb Strangler and Termagants. Meanwhile, Chocobamba's hitting this power, which is probably why he was sloppy with the War Truck. He's replacing it though, they're very cheap, as you can see, 180-20. Some War Gear that costs more than that. Warp Vomit almost completely dodged by GuruSkippy. Now has a Zone Thrope on the way. Just gained a lot of favour in 3.18, got a speed buff, also got a buff to its health regeneration aura. Raveners need to be a bit more careful than that with fully upgraded Storm Boys around. With their Nob Leader, they're even more scary and stun when they jump in, as you can see. Also have their improved rocket packs. Will we see one on retreat to try and get a warrior model? No. Chocobamba's doing a good job on GuruSkippy's power income here. GuruSkippy has not touched this power, I don't think. Hive Tyrant is on the west side capping. Second War Truck is out. 257-365. Still on a knife edge. GuruSkippy hasn't lost any squads yet. There's the Zone Thrope. Artillery unit for Tyranids, doesn't need to set up, and is decently nippy now with the buff. Ouch. And there's Bomber Boys. We see the passive health regeneration aura. Not got a very long range though. Raveners tying up the Weird Boy in melee, don't want him using that artillery attack. Does get his Warp Vomit off though. Shooter Boy's forced off. Weird Boy needs to be careful here. Couple more hits and he's going to die, and he's lost his Weird Boy. Explodes on death. And that's one of the only times I've seen his explosion hit anything. And Chocobamba's replaces the Weird Boy immediately. Bit late to get him out of there. And now GuruSkippy is hitting his power. Well, that one, which was just a node. 239-352. A single for GuruSkippy. He's now capping mid though with Helmagaunts. Weird Boy number 2 hitting the field now. And he's coming out to defend his power. There go the Storm Boys. What are they going to go after? Here is the Hive Tyrant. No, there's Seismic Roar. Excellent disruption and decent damage. And those Storm Boys lose their Nob Leader. And then a charge on retreat. Hive Tyrant causing havoc. Now tying up some shooters. Where is that War Truck? It is mid. Zone Thrope targeting it. Where are the Venom Brood? Forced off, I imagine. Zone Thrope goes down in seconds. And the War Truck is replaced again. Hive Tyrant's going to die and retreat to Sluggers. 239, 313. Pretty sizable engagement there mid game. Both players losing units. Well, Chocobamba's lost a War Truck, GuruSkippy lost a Zone Thrope, and they both replaced their losses. Hitting this node again, GuruSkippy really power starved, but he's got 140 of it, so we won't be overly concerned. Pomegrante's caught in retreat by shooters, and here comes the ranged blob as another warrior brood out. Are we going to see adrenal glands on these guys? 221 plays 308. Tyranids, will they try and cap the middle? They should. Weird Boy, a nice juicy target. Warp Vomit is not dodged. They are suppressing him though, so he can't use his attack. Here comes Storm Boys, which are bad news for that entire blob. But they run away, don't want to get shot by the Zone Thrope. He's also spotted the melee warriors, I think, who are not doing anything. Warboss runs away. He goes tier 3 Chocobambus. Nobody really wants to engage here. GuruSkippy blobbing up his units in the middle. Chocobambus a bit more spread out. Sluggers hopping in and out of the constantly destroyed War Truck. Hive Tyrant making the first move, charges in. What's he going to go after? The Weird Boy out. Zone Thrope really hurting those shooters, and here comes, what's he going to be? It is Ripper Swarm, the new without number global ability that all Tyranid commanders have. Ripper Swarms are great at tying up range units and setup teams especially. Out. Storm Boys in melee with Venom Brood. That's very, very bad news. But they get away. War Truck driving around. Since the Venom Brood were forced off, it can pretty much do it at once. Zone Thrope goes down. Bad engagement for GuruSkippy. Termagant's caught by the Storm Boys too. 192, 260. Ouch, that was a lot of losses, and Chocobambus is tier 3. Can they finish off that last Termagant? GuruSkippy not pleased with the fortitude of Zone Thropes. Storm Boys capping east. GuruSkippy busy reinforcing everything. Venom Brood only have one member. Not sure why he's not reinforcing us, guys. Taking out that War Truck will be nice. Warboss now has his heavy armor, so he's very, very tough. Over 2,000 hit points, as you can see at level 3. Storm Boys capped, but are now forced off. We have more Rippers. GuruSkippy is going to march on the center. Or not. What's these Hive Tyrants going first, I think. Tie up as much damage as he can. What's he going to go for? The Weird Boy? Nope, he's going for the shooters. Meanwhile, Raveners burrow in on the shooters here and force them off. Warboss in melee with Warrior Brood, who don't have an upgrade. There's his Stomp. Doesn't have a weapon upgrade, the Warboss, using his default chain axe. Weird Boy forced off. Not sure what the Warboss is doing here. Doesn't seem to be engaging anything. Here come the Storm Boys, tying up these Barb Stranglers, and they need to run. An excellent crippling poison put in there by GuruSkippy, saving those barbed stranglers. And they now engage warriors, which is a very, very bad idea, especially without adrenal glands. Lose 2 members in seconds. 129, 242. 2-1 for GuruSkippy, and he goes tier 3. Chocobamba's been there for a while, floating tons of resources. Where we see a battle wagon. Hive Tyrant goes down in retreat to sluggers with that speed buff that the Nob leader gives them. Are pretty nasty at chasing retreat and stuff. Venom Brew with its very lonely member capping this wreck point. GuruSkippy unable to hit this power at all. Well, he did take out 1 generator, didn't he? But I think that's been a difference. Hasn't been able to pressure map control as much. Adrenal glands on this warrior brood now giving them melee heavy. Ravener brood lose a member in seconds and now burrow in. We'll probably need to retreat pretty sharpish. Tying up the weird boy, but they're losing health like crazy and get away with 2 members. Shooter's forced off by the Barb Strangler though. He's going to now go and decap middle immediately. War truck roaming around with sluggers in it. Decapping wreck points eventually, no? Bit of a misclick by Chocobambus. Double Barb Stranglers on the field now for GuruSkippy. Swampum used, trying to get into range but they can't. Force melee by all of this stuff. And they lose a couple of models. Here comes Storm Boys though, which have been really, really bad news for the whole game. Weird boy, will he get a shot off? No, disrupted by those Raveners. It's disrupting Chocobambus' entire army there pretty much. 107 plays 223. Chocobambus floating ridiculous amounts of resources. Has 79 pop though. Warboss now has his very, very scary power core. Storm Boys, will they jump in or just retreat? They don't retreat. And Adrenal Gland Warriors are going to catch them in retreat. And they lose their Nob leader. Venom Brood used to cap the map with its solitary member. And they get the VP. Will the sluggers be able to take it out in retreat? It's now in full flow. And that's a rock strike. Bunch of stuff died there, good grief. Triple cap for GuruSkippy now. Battle wagon is on the way. GuruSkippy calls GG and concedes, won't be able to see that battle wagon. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you next time.